All right, today we're going to explore a really powerful idea. What if all that chaos so many entrepreneurs feel, what if it isn't some kind of personal failing, but actually just a mismatch of systems? We're diving into a case study that shows exactly how ADHD-aware support can turn that frantic energy into real, focused clarity.
My brain literally can't cope right now. Wow. I mean, that just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's a feeling I think a lot of small business owners know way too well. You know that exact moment when the projects, the tasks, the deadlines, it all just piles up and becomes too much. That's the sound of total, complete overload.
And that feeling of being completely overloaded, it leads right to this question. Ever feel like you're just reacting to your business instead of actually running it? Like, are you the one in the driver's seat, or are you just constantly playing catch-up, putting out one fire after another? It's a super common frustration, but it usually points to something much, much deeper.
Okay, so to really get to the solution here, we first have to get a handle on the problem. Let's take a peek inside the overloaded entrepreneur's brain and see what's actually going on.
Yeah, this internal monologue, it's just so vivid, right? So where to start? Did I reply to that email? Invoices. Wait, what was I even doing? Look, what's happening here has nothing to do with a lack of skill or drive. It's a constant, draining battle with prioritization and focus. Every single thought just derails the last one, and you end up in this cycle of scattered effort that just goes absolutely nowhere fast.
And here's the really important part. Here's why this matters so much. This constant mental churn, it's not just some internal feeling. It has a huge, real-world impact on the business. I mean, when all your energy is just spent trying to keep your head above water, there's literally nothing left in the tank to actually steer the ship and focus on real, meaningful growth.
But what if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if the problem isn't the person at all? What if it's the system they're trying to force themselves into? This leads us to a really, really powerful way of reframing this whole issue. And boom, here it is. This is the core idea. Stop thinking of ADHD as some kind of flaw that you have to fix. Instead, picture it as a different operating system. Like Mac versus Windows. Neither one is broken, right? They just process information differently. And just like any OS, it can be incredibly powerful once you find the right software, the right tools that are actually designed to work with it, not against it. Okay, so if ADHD is a different operating system, then what does the right software actually look like in a business? Well, that brings us to what's called an ADHD-aware approach.
And let me be super clear right away. We are not talking about just hiring a generic virtual assistant to answer some emails. No way. This is a much, much deeper kind of intervention. It's about fundamentally restructuring how the business operates to actually align with a neurodivergent way of thinking.
So what really makes this approach so different? Well, for starters, it's not just a buzzword. This is support that's actually certified and built on techniques that are neurodivergent friendly. The whole point is to build a system that minimizes those triggers for burnout while maximizing the unique cognitive strengths that come with ADHD. Things like incredible creativity and that laser-like hyperfocus. We're talking about building sustainable systems here, not just slapping on a few quick fixes.
And I love this quote from Pierre, the founder of Lanza-VA, because it just sums it all up perfectly. You get better results when you work with someone's natural way of operating instead of forcing them into a rigid system. Exactly. Success doesn't come from jamming a square peg into a round hole. It comes from building a framework around how that person naturally operates. It's all about adapting the system to the person, not the other way around. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how does this philosophy actually translate into action? Let's walk through the actual process of taking a business owner from that state of total chaos to a place of real, genuine clarity. So the journey starts in one of two ways. And notice the most important thing the client does is a brain dump, just getting all that noise and chaos out of their head and onto the table. You've got the power hour, which is like a quick, focused surgical strike. You get in, you get clear next steps for a couple of key tasks, and you get out. Then you have the clarity session, which is the much deeper dive. That's for a complete reset, and it results in a really detailed, fully tailored plan. And from there, everything unfolds in this really clear four-step process. First up, a discovery call. It's just a free chat to pinpoint exactly what's draining your time. Then, you move into that action session we just talked about, where you map out all the chaos and build that plan. Step 3, a custom system is built just for you, with practical tools and routines that are actually designed for how you work. And the result, the big payoff, you get to a place of calm and control, where you're actually leading your business with clarity instead of just chasing tasks all day.
It's a real, structured path to a sustainable solution. All right, so this brings us to the final and honestly the most important takeaway from this entire approach.
When you really boil it down, what we're looking at is a massive shift in mindset. It's about moving from, I just need to work harder, to, I need to work smarter. It's about ditching those rigid, one-size-fits-all systems and embracing personalized systems that actually fit you. And the result is you go from the scattered, frantic effort that gets you nowhere to focused, meaningful progress that actually builds momentum.
And this is the one line to remember through all of this. The goal isn't just about adding more structure. It's not about more rules or more complicated spreadsheets. It's about finding the right structure, that simple, intuitive framework that just fits your brain, the one that allows you to do your absolute best work, almost effortlessly.
So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Think about it. In your business, in your learning, in your life, what potential could you unlock if you just stopped trying to force yourself into boxes that were never designed for you, and instead you started designing systems that were built specifically for you?